Yes, and then the fans came on track. I
Mm.
mean, I think we should say we understand it's not a representation of Australian fans or anything like that. It is
Yeah, I did
a small
think
handful.
I did. So on TV, you wouldn't have known this, and obviously, if you're, I don't know, living in a hole somewhere, you wouldn't have known because it was all over social media afterwards that people invaded the track while that last lap slash cool down lap was actually happening.
They did mention it on the commentary.
Oh, I maybe I
Yeah,
switched
but
off, or
we didn't really know and see what they were doing because they were literally climbing fences and
yeah,
squeezing through gaps. Anything can happen, right? We've seen incidents happen on formation laps, right?
yeah,
All it
exactly.
takes is like, oh, had a lock up or a bit of wheel spin, whatever it is,
Mm,
and the car goes sliding into the wall, sliding across, and hits someone, hurts them, or kills them, right? You just
yeah,
never know.
you never know. Yeah,
And
exactly.
so,
Yeah,
yeah,
for me, it's quite bad.
it is very bad.
I don't blame the organizers though, personally. I think that there's only so much that you can do when you ask people to work security in events like this when they're probably, let's be honest, understaffed,
Yeah,
massively outnumbered. There's only so much you can do. I don't entirely blame the event organizers. It's just people being idiots. I think that
yeah,
the more that what in the hell in Drive to Survive actually happened essentially was a lot of the memes that were going around on social media, because it is these very new casual fans who seem to have latched onto the sport that seem to be bringing it down for others seemingly. And I know that's a big generalization because obviously, Drive to Survive has done quite a bit of good for the sport as well. But it does seem to be those, like those football hooligan types that, they just want to go and create a bit of carnage or create a bit of mess. They want to steal one of the Rolex signs from the side of the road type thing. Like, it seemed like that sort of crowd that were actually in, like, maybe at the spearhead of it, from videos I saw on TikTok and tweets and stuff like that. And then because other people were on track, others were following them,
yeah,
which obviously isn't great. I'm all for having people go on track. When I go to the British Grand Prix, and I remember when we went to Austria last year, I said, do you want to go on track? And you were like, nah, because it'll take a couple of hours for us to even get off, etc., etc. Whatever, that's absolutely fine. But I'm going to the British Grand Prix on my own, and I really do hope that I get to go and have a little bit of a track walk, like at some point after the race is finished, because it's an experience, and I think that fans should be given the
yeah.
opportunity. I
And
know in
there's
Spa
something,
you actually get to go onto the track. They open it up on or they did in the past. They didn't last year or the year before, year before because of COVID, but they didn't open the track up last year either. But you could go and have a little bit of a walk around on the track, which I think is amazing.
no,
So
there's something special about having fans on the track where
yeah,
the drivers are collecting the trophies and stuff. Like,
especially
look at
in
Monza.
Monza.
Yeah, look at Monza, right?
Yeah,
That is. So I'm totally, absolutely for it. And like you said, it was just some dickheads that just
yeah.
couldn't wait 5 minutes. Right, that was it. And it's just like, come on, man, come on.
Yeah,
Um,
I feel like it's some learnings for the Grand Prix Association, that's for
yeah,
sure.
and I think the organizers, the stewards kind of spoke to them, and FIA and FOM spoke to them and said, look, we're going to take it on board and
Yeah.
we'll make some changes and things like that. So I don't think it will happen next year, but yeah,
Mm.
can't have people on track, man. Can't have people on track.
No,
I
but
mean, look, was it Hulkenberg's car stopped after turn two, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
What's to stop someone just running on, stealing stuff from that car, steering wheel, whatever. You know what people are like,
yeah.
right?
You could steal the steering wheel, or it could even be that we saw it with, like, for example, in football, where somebody runs on and punches Jack Grealish in the face in a Birmingham
Yeah,
Aston Villa
you don't
game.
know. Someone could have just run off to Nico
Um,
Hulkenberg and
you never know. I mean,
exactly,
Nico
yeah,
seems like a decent bloke. I highly doubt that would happen.
yeah, you'd have
But you
socked
just
him
don't
one.
know. You just have no idea.
Yeah,
So I think it is very dangerous, but also I think that actually thinking about it, and as I'm talking about it, maybe the Grand Prix organisers do have something to be accountable for. Because do you not remember that last year, Alex Albon pitted on the last lap because he went the entire way on hards and then pitted on the last lap so that he would have his registered pit stop. And there were fans in the pit lane because the event organisers have brought people out to, start celebrating the podium. but they
No, I
brought them
did
out
not
one
know.
lap too early. So there were actually people in the pit lane when Alex had pitted. So he was, pretty close to potentially, injuring somebody in the pit lane. Because the
Shit.
event
I
organisers
didn't read
brought
that.
people out early. So actually, maybe there is something there around, having people or having the organisers take a look at themselves, because they're not conducting things very safely. And one of the things that worries me as well around the safety is there's potentially talks around turning Australia into a night race, and then if you have fans potentially breaking onto the track at night,
Okay,
is even worse.